Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now today it has marked the 58th JAMUHURI Day celebration in Kenya, where President Uhuru Kenyatta has led Kenyans in celebrating this day at Uhuru Gardens, Nairobi. And when the president was giving his speech, he went ahead in the middle of the speech to break the protocol again to welcome the ODM leader Raila Odinga to come and address Kenyans. So the president was very clear that Raila Odinga has been part of the team that has been advising him on how to go about in developing the Uhuru Gardens. And so, in his own wisdom, President Uhuru Kenyatta went ahead to ask Raila Odinga to come and address Kenyans. And remember, this JAMUHURI Day is very significant for President Uhuru Kenyatta because this is the last JAMUHURI Day that he's celebrating as the sitting president. So the president broke the protocol, he called Raila Odinga, and when Raila Odinga stood up to speak, he used that opportunity very nicely, number one, to give credit to President Uhuru Kenyatta for the tremendous job that he has done at Uhuru Gardens. Then secondly, Raila Odinga went ahead to talk about the past. He said if we want to go into the future, we have to remember our past so that when we go into the future, we don't repeat the mistake that we did in the past. And Uhuru Gardens is a reflection of our past in the struggle for independence as a country. So I think he was definitely answering those people allied to William Samoei Ruto, the deputy president, who are always saying that if you want to know the history of the country, you listen to Raila Odinga. And if you want to know the future, listen to William Samoei Ruto. So, really, if you put Raila and Ruto here, it means Raila is carrying both the history that we have passed and the future. So he has both the two. And William Samoei Ruto, definitely, the way these people are trying to put it out, it simply shows that Ruto does not have clue about our history, but he is thinking about the future. So Raila made a clarification there that Uhuru Gardens is a reflection of our past and where we are heading to. And secondly, Raila Odinga went ahead to talk about the grabbed land, which really hit hard on the deputy president William Samoei Ruto in the presence of President Uhuru Kenyatta. He talked about how Uhuru Gardens was grabbed by land grabbers. And even he went ahead to mention Western Hotel, which was part of the Uhuru Gardens. And who is the owner of Western Hotel? Definitely it is the deputy president William Samoei Ruto. So what Raila was simply telling Kenyans is that even among us, as we celebrate the JAMUHURI Day on the land that was grabbed, among us there are people who are still holding grabbed land. So there is a message Raila has used that opportunity to send out to Kenyans that be careful as we go forward, we seek to take the leadership of the country. Some people here are land grabbers. So if you give an opportunity, even the past history that we have reserved, they are going to destroy and take over the land the same way they have been doing. So within those 5 minutes, Raila Odinga managed to send a clear message to Kenyans that if you are talking about those people who are grabbing land in Kenya, among us, there are some people here because they are holding to land which was grabbed from the government. So we are talking about next year taking over the government after the general election. And we want to have someone who can fight corruption. And so, among us, there are people who are embracing corruption because they have been part and parcel of that disease in the name of corruption, which is killing the country and the economy. So that is the clear message that Raila wanted to reach out to Kenyans, and being a smart politician, he delivered it very nicely, and Kenyans have got the message clear. Like if people will leave this JAMUHURI celebration, they will remember about the grabbed land, and they're going to remember about Western Hotel, which he has really mentioned. And even it can go to an extent to appear in tomorrow's newspaper, if there will be someone who really want to talk about that issue. So that is a clear message that Raila has sent out, And it has come out very strong, even more better compared to what William Samoei Ruto was delivering. And lastly, politics still played at Jamhuri Day celebrations, where President Uhuru Kenyatta, he is openly presenting Raila Odinga to Kenyans, possibly as the next president. Because you see, he's breaking protocol in the middle of his speech, just to recognize Raila Odinga and call him to speak. What President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing is not in vain. And remember, we said this is his last Jamhuri Day celebrations as the president. And he has used his last time to bring Raila Odinga in the middle of the speech and give him to Kenyans. So definitely that is VVIP acknowledgement to Raila Amolo Odinga. So that is an endorsement still Uhuru Kenyatta is doing. And he is clear, no reverse gear. He might go all the way to the ballot with Raila Amolo Odinga. So as we go forward, President Uhuru Kenyatta, maybe soon he will start coming out openly and campaigning for Raila Amolo Odinga. Or even if he will not do directly, he will still use his people as he has continuously done earlier. So I want to leave you here with a speech from Raila Amolo Odinga. Please listen up to the end. But again, if you have not yet subscribed, I'm still humbly requesting you to subscribe so that any other time, once we release a new video, you will always get notified.
Wangependa kupeleka nchi hii. Ningefanya makosa kama singemshukuru moja kati yetu hapa ambaye tumekuwa tukiongea na yeye kutoka miezi karibu 14 wakati nilianza hii project ya Uhuru Gardens, ambaye tumetembea na yeye hapa sana na amenipatia mawaidha. Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, nasema asante sana kwa yale ambayo umetusaidia kutenda. Naonekana hawa wazee wanataka uwaongeleshe, kuja uwasalimie jamani.
Your Excellency, Rais wa Jamhuri wa Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, Mama wa Taifa ya Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mama Ngina Kenyatta, Mama Margaret Kenyatta, Naibu Rais, viongozi wote mfika hapa siku ya leo. Harambee! 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 Nimesema hayo kwa sababu yale ndio yalifanyika hapa miaka 58 iliyopita. Your Excellency, I have only two things that I want to tell Kenyans today. First way is true what you have said here about these grounds. But Kenyans must also know that this ground was not chosen for no reason. One, there was a motion in Parliament, and I see the speakers here, then called Legico, about the site. Then there were 3 sites. One was along what was called Princess Elizabeth Highway, now Uhuru Highway, and that was Uhuru Park. The other one was called Mitchell Park, which is today called JAMUHURI Park or ASK grounds. This one here was called open ground next to Nairobi Dam. This one was chosen because it was a concentration camp where, as the president has said, freedom fighters were tortured, like they were tortured in Hitler's Auschwitz and Buchenwald. Here, next to the Western Hotel, which was part of this ground, in Langata Primary School, there are torture chambers which have been preserved by the Museum of Kenya for people to know where we are coming from. Your Excellency, what you've done here is great. I'd asked you when you went to Namibia to go and look at what they have done. When you came back, you told me, we will do better. We will actually come up with the best in Africa. How we are going to remember our past. There are those who say, forget about the past. We want to look at the future. The past is very important because if you don't look at the past, you are likely to repeat the same mistakes made in the past. And here, Your Excellency, you say that you want history unedited here. People will come to know who Wayaki Wahinga was, who Harithuku was, and so many of those our heroes here. Many of Kenyan patriots have worked here. Historians, geologists, anthropologists, political scientists, architects, engineers have worked here. And people are going to be surprised at what you've done here. It shows your vision for this nation, of our country. So we, therefore, Your Excellency, I want to congratulate you in front of fellow Kenyans here for the work that you've done that will only be recognized many years after you've left office. So we congratulate you. And this land had been grabbed, but those land grabbers who do not see any open space and stop grabbing them. But we managed to retrieve it back for the benefit of our people. And it's going to remain truly Uhuru Gardens, where we also are going to bury our heroes and remember them for posterity. I thank you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Haya. Kwa